Hey everybody, Chef Paul here, self-isolating in my favorite place, my kitchen. So I thought I would take you through some of my absolute favorite staples that I keep on hand all the time for cooking in this situation or any other situation. So first things first, sweet potato. I always keep these on hand. They're very versatile, they're nutrient dense, and they last a long time. So I've always got a bunch of these in the fridge. They're great for mashes. I like to throw a little bit of something spicy in there with that if I'm making a mash with these. But also, sometimes I'll just wash them really well, cut them into rounds, maybe about ½ inch thick, and then just roast them off. Then you can top them with whatever you like. You can either top each one with a mixture of toppings, think like sauteed onions, some walnut, a little bit of goat cheese, or you can top them like nachos. Sometimes I'll just do grated cheese, some pickled chili peppers, some bell peppers, and then everyone just gets to scoop themselves a nice serving. I also always keep a few jars of sauerkraut on hand. Now this is a little nod to my European roots, of course, but this is a really great ingredient. Not only is it fermented, so it's great for your gut health, it's got so much flavor. It's got sourness, it's great to throw into stir fries. You can throw it in with fried rice, or you can just saute your favorite vegetables, add this in, and then flavor it to be a bed for any kind of meats, grilled meats. It loves, obviously, pork and chicken. It's a really versatile ingredient. Think of this as the kimchi of Europe. Another thing that I cannot live without are large jars of really good quality tomato sauce. So find a sauce that you really love the flavor of, and then just stick with that sauce. Buy it when it's on sale, buy a lot of it. That's what I do, and I just stock the shelves with it. Now, this is not just for pasta with red sauce. There's so much more you can do with marinara sauce. Sure, it's flavored with basil and garlic, but you can take that flavor any other direction. I will make my homemade butter chicken starting with a jar of this. I'll add toasted spices, a splash of cream, and then I'll simmer chicken in it, and you wouldn't even know that it started with marinara sauce. So it's a very versatile ingredient, and I always have this on hand. Next up, one of my favorite things, oven-ready lasagna noodles. These are a lifesaver. Partially because you don't have to parboil them before you cook, but also because they're great for using leftovers. I'll explain why. You know me, I always like to switch things up. So if I make pulled pork today, I'll probably be making a pulled pork lasagna with the leftovers tomorrow. I'll just swap the pulled pork leftovers out for the normal ground beef, and then maybe I'll jazz up the tomato sauce with a little bit of barbecue sauce. Throw in some sauteed peppers and onions, and you've got sort of a twist on a southern barbecue lasagna. Delicious. Always have them on hand, and you can take that philosophy any number of different ways. So just a great thing to have. One thing I'm never without is sodium reduced soy sauce. Now this is an ingredient that brings so much more than just saltiness. It brings umami, it brings depth of flavor. This is fermented. It's great in marinades and sauces. You can even put it into salad dressings. There are a million recipes online for how to use this. And sometimes, even if I'm in the mood for sushi, but all I have are some beets and carrots, I will slice them thin, roast them up, and I will dip them in a little soy sauce with a little bit of wasabi, and it totally fulfills that craving. One of my absolute favorite ingredients of all time. Another thing I'd love to keep on hand are big boxes of a multi-grain, often gluten-free cracker because, well, not right now, but usually you never know who's coming over and whenever you have to whip up a snack. So I love having crackers on hand because I have been known to pause a movie, disappear for 20 minutes, and return with an easy hot cheese dip, and this way you've got a nice cracker to serve on the side. And they're always gluten-free because you never know when somebody is coming over who can't eat gluten, and this way they never feel left out. Believe it or not, I always keep 35% whipping cream on hand. Now this is not something that I eat every day, but it does last a long time, so I've always got it in the fridge, and it's great for sweet and savory applications. So maybe you want to whip up a fettuccine alfredo, so just reduce a little bit of whipping cream and grate a lot of Parmesan or cheddar cheese in there and make yourself a nice cheese sauce. Or if you're in the mood for something sweet, you could just whip up some fresh whipped cream and serve it with berries. Or at a time like this, when we got nothing but time, maybe you got kids in the house, maybe you're a baking enthusiast, that would be a great time to, tackle one of those more complex baking recipes, and whipping cream will help you for sure with a lot of those. So just a great ingredient. Love it. Can't be without it. I also love to keep large bags of semi-sweet chocolate chips on hand. These are great because, you save money by buying in bulk, and also anytime you want to whip up something sweet, you've got them on hand. Another thing that I like to buy on sale. So whether I'm making chocolate chip cookies or I'm making a flourless chocolate cake, I've always got chocolate on hand, and especially at a time like this, I mean, we all could use a little more chocolate, right? So buy a big bag. Last but not least, I of course always keep a large bag of basmati rice on hand. Now, I don't have to tell you how versatile rice is, just always remember to rinse your rice and it'll come out fluffy every time. I use this for lots and lots of different recipes, and I always make a double batch because there's so much you can do with leftover rice the next day, and rice never goes to waste in my house. So that's it for my pantry raid. I hope you're all keeping well and keeping busy and keeping cooking during this time. If there's one thing I can advise you on, it's that the more you cook, the more love you put into your food, the easier this entire journey will be, and we'll all do it together. Stay well.